It's good B-roll footage, just to see you do your hair. Oh boy, we haven't even discussed fuck it. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
What are we talking about?
Exactly. Let's talk a little boss ball. Get into what went down last night.
I feel so naked over here with no pen. No. Now, could you also throw me a piece of paper? No, I'll grab that notebook over
Here.
We got 4 people in. There we go.
Let's do it. Hit that. Hit the button. I'm trying to get to the. Oh God. Look at this. It's one of those. Here we go. And Bringo.
Here yet. What up, Jack?
Welcome to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily right here, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy Studios in Matawan, New Jersey. I'm your host, Dave Sturchio Sturch, and of course, Chris Gucci Gooch. We are running solo, running hot right now. It is just the two of us. Just the two.
Yeah,
you want to sing together?
Pete, AJ's not in today, but I will give you the lock.
Wait, who's
Sunday?
Pete? What are you talking about?
Pistol Pete.
Pistol
in
Pete.
the comments, baby.
Don't worry about AJ's lock. Here's what I'll say about
I think
that.
he's talking about NBA.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
He said for tonight, there's
It doesn't
no football
matter.
game.
It doesn't
on
matter
tonight.
because I'll just say this. I'm the only one who got the game right last night, and I don't pay $1 for any kind of subscription service. So I'll just say that. I don't have to do any of that
I'm like
garbage.
15 games ahead of you. So
Well, it doesn't matter. I've gained one, and that's all that matters. But anyway, so yeah, it's Sturch, it's Gooch, it's Friday, it's a football Friday. We're excited. Obviously, the best week of the year for me. Can't lose. It's a beautiful thing. No stress. It's a bye week for the Dallas Cowboys, so I get to sit back, put my feet up, drink a couple cold beers, and then smash them together, do the old Austin 316 thing, and we'll call it a day. But we do have plenty to talk about today because as of last night, the Dodgers made this a series, Gooch. The Dodgers, my Dodgers, okay, made this a series. Just like I kind of inherited the Atlanta Hawks last year in the playoffs, I'm inheriting the Dodgers as my squad. There is a series to be played, Game 6, coming at you tomorrow night or tonight. What is it? Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow.
The Red Sox could potentially be dropped tonight.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
So
thing.
shout out Chris Taylor, 3 bombs in an elimination game. I think the Dodgers are 7-0 in their last 7 elimination games. So they're tough to put away. That team is real good. Chris Taylor fucking hit 3 not salamis, but 3 bombs.
Listen,
of salami.
I'm pretty hungry this morning. But I will say it's good to have some series. You know what I mean? I'm glad nobody actually just kind of ran away with it. We're about to see the end of the Red Sox, and not to bring up baseball too much, but there's something we actually wanted to talk about the other day.
That series is going to go 7. I feel like the Red Sox are going to force a 7-game series.
Where is the game?
I don't know. I don't care. I just think it's going to be a 7-game series.
Well, I was going to bring this up the other day when the Boone news came down. We forgot all about it. We actually glazed right over it because I had it in the rundown. I wanted to talk about it, but the Yankees, right? So I'm talking to my sauna guy. I was in the sauna talking to my main man in the sauna 2 days ago about the state of the 2022 New York Yankees, of what can possibly stick around and what they got to let go. There was a glaring name that popped up, and I want to get your opinion on that, maybe the listeners' opinions as well, Yankee fans at least. Gleyber Torres, are we done? Are we through? He obviously is a liability in the field. His bat never came alive this year for when he was out there. Is it over?
I do think it's over for Gleyber in New York because the shortstop market is loaded this offseason.
We're about to grab Seager.
And it's definitely I think Cashman already came out and said that it's a position of interest. It's free agency. They have to address it. So I know LeMahieu's locked in at second. Maybe they move LeMahieu to third and Gio's gone.
It's hard. I look at Gio like our Brocious. You know what I mean? Like that gamer who will come up in the clutch.
He didn't really deliver this season at all. So I know he battled injury a lot, but at the same time, Gleyber is a more talented player than Gio. But Gio's third base, his glove at third, I think it's hard to get rid of that.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that he's also a team guy. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys you'll run through a wall for. And
But
that
yes,
catch.
I think Glaber. I think it's that the signs are pointing towards Glaber being done in New York.
Second position gone in New York, Gary Sanchez. What do you think about that? Because Gary Sanchez has obviously dogged it a lot. Yes, when he cracks one, it is great. It is magical.
I gotta look at his contract.
It looks amazing, right? Like he's got the sweet stroke. But there's too many times I'm watching Gary Sanchez. Not only, first of all, he doesn't squat behind the plate, which bugs the crap out of me. Because now you're in a position where you can't move laterally when you're like literally sitting on your ass catching balls. But I don't know, man. I think Sanchez might be on his way out. However, the problem is Higgy is not your everyday catcher. How do they address that? You know, I believe there's one guy in the minors, but I'm not sure if he's ready. Austin Wells, if I'm not mistaken.
They could make a trade for a catcher, sign a catcher. I don't think that's really an issue.
I don't know if the market is as big as shortstop.
Give Higashioka the keys for at least a trial run in the next season. There's the potential there.
I don't know.
I don't think that he's an everyday catcher, but is Sanchez?
Well, no, but now not anymore. Yeah. He's proven that.
I don't really think you need to get much out of your bat with your catcher. You need him to be able to catch. Sanchez, for whatever reason, they kept him around for his bat, but he's batting 160 in his career. So I don't know why.
They know how to manufacture runs.
He's not a free agent until after next season. So if he's gone,
they can move him. Yeah, they can move him.
They're gonna have to get a bag of balls for him because Sanchez ain't worth shit.
All right. Well, that's my Yankee talk, my Yankee rant for the day. Because there's a lot of teams out there that are looking to improve, and now that Boone is back, and they want to change the culture and change the people that are going to be there. It's like, all right, well, what are you going to do? You know, like I know Gallo is free for another year, so they can hold on to him if they want. Rizzo is not, so that's a decision to be made if they want to keep Rizzo. Gallo might be your everyday left fielder, or Stanton can just pony up and actually fucking play the field a little bit rather than.
I mean, Stan did play the field.
No, I'm talking about just like for good. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's Giancarlo saying, you know what, guys, I got to sit. I think he'd rather play the field. It's the Yankees that are doing this.
Yeah, well, maybe. But anyway, to the important stuff, obviously there's some NBA happened last night. I didn't watch a lot of the NBA, but I do know the Knicks are back tonight. Game 2 tonight. So the quest to 82-0.
Yesterday was one of those rare unicorn sports days where we had all 4 major sports playing. I know that
Devils lost, the Rangers won.
Really sport,
I watched both games simultaneously.
I just started a war. I just said hockey's not really a sport, and you glossed over
it.
My it is obviously a sport.
Don't do that.
It's just not a sport that I give a shit about.
That's not fair either, because you ordered a Tampa Bay championship t-shirt right away. Like you were on the hotline. You were one of those guys that were on the hotline at the end of the night. Like, hello, hotline. I'd like my t-shirt, please.
Tampa Bay, baby.
Tampa Bay. Oh my God, get over it. But anyway, so there was some sports podcast. Scoop. That's right. So next week, by the way, I believe he wants to meet Tuesday. I got to check on one thing, but Tuesday he wants to meet with his boy and us, if you're available, to discuss the Knicks/Nets podcast. Clever name. I don't know if I should just like blurt it out.
Don't blurt it out.
I won't blurt it out. It'll be interesting. I think we do need another basketball podcast. James Rube was our guy for a little bit. And that just didn't really grab the legs, and he got busy, and he's another one that makes a lot of money. You want to follow somebody that makes money in fantasy sports, follow James Rube, because that dude, I've seen some of his like cash out tickets. And shout out to Scoop, who got everybody thinking that he won $1 million last night.
No, not me. I actually read his post. Said crazy bet here. That's all it said. It wasn't like
there's a plan. Is it crazy bet here? I'm like,
all you have to do is look at the amount wagered. And I know Scoop isn't sitting there putting a fucking 4-leg.
How do you know?
Scoop's not putting 30 grand on a 4-leg parlay.
Maybe he was feeling froggy.
And if he is, Scoop.
I told him last night. We'll try. It'll be coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy /Scoop Espo Studios.
Scoop just said he's poor as fuck.
Okay, well then it's not Scoop's bet. Sorry, Scoop. Anyway, last night, game to be played. There was one last night. The Browns defeated the Broncos 17-14. Case Keenum is a GOAT. He is a legend. D'Ernest. There we go. He gets the start, right? The running backs are depleted. He goes for $120 plus. Unbelievable turn of events. Shout out to me for telling Paz, our boy John Paz, to start him. And when I say that, I definitely said don't start him because it was a short week. And I
started him in one league.
My dad started him.
It worked
smoked
out.
My brother in the first two. What's funny is my brother has a tendency to wave the white flag as soon as something happens. So I was like, Johnson scores. He's like, I lost. That's it. I'm done. Like, hello, you have 8 other guys to play, but He's down 38-0 in a non-PPR league because of the Browns defense and Johnson. It's a lot.
Case Keenum played well.
Dearness
Johnson played well.
Case Keenum, Odell Beckham's a bitch again. Saw him go down on his shoulder and say boo.
I mean, like the fact that he even played, I think it kind of you got to give credit where it's due.
Of all people, you're the one that always says,
Odell's,
have a player, half a season,
Odell's a bitch. I didn't expect him to play yesterday, and he suited up. So I'm going to give credit where it's due. You know, football's a tough sport. Your shoulder's fucked up and you play, you know, you get hit, you're done. That's it.
He's not the only one. It was Jarvis Landry in and out of the game. Like, he's another one who's just another hobble away from just not being a factor at all. Like, it just, what are we doing here? I felt bad. Case Keenum had nobody, and they still got it done. So I asked the question, are the Broncos one of now the worst teams in the NFL? Because they went from 3-0, from beating up a bunch of nobodies, to losing 4 in a row, and Bridgewater looks lost. My boy Sutton, by the way, that dude can catch. He doesn't drop shit. But it's unfortunate because the team stinks.
The Broncos aren't one of the worst teams in the league because there's 3 really, really bad teams, and there's a couple more that I think are just clearly significantly worse. I get it. Than Denver, but they're not a good team by any stretch. And it's going to be, I think that they could be picking around the 10th pick, kind of where they were last year. There's no improvements whatsoever out of Denver. Talk about hot seat. I think Vic Fangio is firmly entrenched in the hot seat.
I think Fangio's top 3 right now on BetMGM, which is our exclusive sports book. He is top 3 is first to get fired. Urban Meyer, Fangio, and Matt Nagy. So, but if Nagy could turn it around and go 500 or something, they might give him another year to develop with Justin Fields and stuff. We'll get into it. But I will say this, the Broncos are bad, right? They haven't beat anybody since they went 3-0, and when they were beating all the bad teams. My question is, it's pretty apparent that Teddy Two Gloves and Drew Lock, they're not the guy. And I feel bad for a guy like John Elway, which I don't like John Elway as a person because of what he's done to me in the past, personally. But I never told you that story?
No, we'll talk about it off air.
We're
going good at right here.
All right, fine. But he's a jerk off. It was at one of those Cadillac.
So then you did tell me.
I did tell you the story. But anyway, so he can't get it right as far as quarterback is concerned, which is kind of alarming considering he's one of the best to do it, and he can't pick a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is not the guy. He's a seasoned backup, and same thing with Drew Lock. You've already moved on from Drew Lock. You know what I mean? So what do you do next? And apparently there's no clear-cut number 1 quarterback coming out of college next year. So even if anybody has the top 5 pick, it almost doesn't matter.
Well, they're not going to pick in the top 5 because
whatever the case, I'm saying
they beat every single team that's going to be picking in the top 5.
Well, they did themselves a disservice by beating those teams because they're going to pick 4th, 5th. You know what I mean? So whatever. But that game is that game. Again, you have to give credit where credit's due, man. They played a really
none of our primetime props hit.
None of our primetime props.
Chase McLaughlin did miss the second field goal, and they had the ball on 4th and 3, and they fucking decided to go for it.
I will say this:
I didn't get my prop.
Not only did I
did bet on it,
I did. I picked Tim Patrick anytime touchdown. How about anytime target? Like, he got 1 target, and I'm like, what am I? Come on, man! Like this is my primetime prop. I got you guys. You know, I picked the game right again. Shout out to me for picking the game right because I believed
I think that Are you still below 500?
A little bit. Not a lot of it.
Like, so
this is where I go on my run.
You know why? Sit there and say, "Yeah, I picked one wrong again."
Listen, I have a personal vendetta now to pick these games so accurately, and then I'm going to start charging people for my knowledge, subscription service, and then I'm going to call it gravy. That's what we're doing. That Dave Sturch's gravy. Come see me for all your NFL picks.
How many units are you betting on?
Less than a quarter. And when I say quarter, I meant an actual 25 cents. But anyway, I won't go anywhere there. Let's take a break and towel off so I can take some water. And when we come back, we got a full slate. Well, not full slate. There's a bunch of teams on buys. We have 11 games to pick. We're going to do that right after the break. You know, myself and Gooch are both getting a little older. One of the first things to go is your vision. Thank goodness for our hookup over at Absolute Eyewear in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street next to the train station. They have glasses for all ages, all budgets. They have safety glasses, sports glasses. They are a full-service powerhouse offering eye exams and even free lenses for the kids. They work with BCBS, AAA, AARP, giving massive discounts. They're open 5 days a week, closed on Wednesdays and Sundays. Call 732-326-3937 to get your first pair of Ray-Ban, Burberry, Coach, Polo, you name it, they got it. Go see Craig and Johnine right now. All right, welcome back to the show. It's just me. And there's Chris rocking, by the way, one of the greatest shirts of all time. The bad guy, Razor Ramon.
Hey, yo.
Let's see. We have some comments coming in just before we pick all the games. Look at that. What happened there? Look behind you. I don't even know. That's just like weird. Anyway, Ben Wexler, welcome back, Ben. Giants should fire Joe Judge and the whole damn organization as a whole. Also, Maris should sell the team. Well, it looks like you're in a good mood today. And he follows it up. Definitely won't be paying for any sports advice from Dave. Well, you're not a subscriber. That's fine. I'll have plenty more. Remember, Sturch is gravy. I'm going to get that trending. Sturch is gravy, baby. I got to get that off the thing now. I'm like trying to, oh my God, where's the comments? And then boom, and goodbye. All right, so we talked about the game already played last night. The Browns move over 500. I did tell you, I said, not only did I pick the game right, but I said that they needed it. If in order for them to keep up with the Steelers and the Ravens and the Bengals, that entire division, they got to win games.
I think slowly but surely that division's going to get away from them, and
I don't know, man.
Possibly even a playoff berth.
We'll see.
They're really banged up. Baker, he's got a fracture in his shoulder now. It's not just the torn labrum. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it's probably going to be for an extended period. But they do got Case Keenum, and he doesn't have to get ready because my boy stays ready. That's what he said after the game. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So
I love it.
Case Keenum is a gamer.
I love it. All right, so we got plenty of games to go over today. Now, listen, we are week 7 now. So if you are in the Chop Sports Survivor pool, there are a couple games that are gimmies, but according to Gooch, he's done his research all the way through the playoffs, and he's going to win this whole thing. So,
I wouldn't say I'm going to win it, but I think that I gave myself a leg up on the competition by doing what I
finally
did.
ran into it.
I would imagine that some of these people are doing the same thing.
What, the gimmies?
Well, no, not some gimmies, but just
scouting it out,
planning ahead, and
maybe I should do that.
Seeing where there's some tough weeks that you might need to save a team.
Speaking of the toughest game, one of the toughest games to pick this week because of all the hype surrounding around the 0-6 Detroit Lions, they're going to LA to face the 5-1 Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 16.5-point favorites at home. Boy, oh boy. And this isn't the only spread like this. So this is interesting. Just so we're all aware, AJ did make all his picks. We have them written down. I'm not going to go back and forth and look for his picks right now because it's just not worth my eyes to go cross like I did last week. So me and Gooch will be making our picks, and obviously we'll match up AJ's. I did not update the standings, so I should probably do that too. But I know for a fact that Gooch still has a nice little firm stranglehold on the top spot. Let's see if he stays hot. I think 3 weeks in a row with 8 or more wins, right? Is that fair?
Yeah. We'll call it at least a 66% win total 3 weeks in a row.
Okay.
We'll call it that. It's actually higher than 66.
Subscribe to the Gooch gravy.
Right?
Gooch is gravy. He's the one making the plays right now. He's doing okay. But anyway, we start with this game. Gooch, how do you feel about a spread this high? I mean, look, we all know what we've seen the Rams do. They just beat the brakes off the Giants, right? The Lions are like edging closer to being in games, but then they're not. You know what I mean? So have the wheels completely fallen off in Detroit enough to get the doors blown off?
The wheels were never on in Detroit.
This is very true.
So there's one wrinkle of this game where I kind of look at it and I'm like, okay, is there where could you, if you look at the game, what could you draw from the whole situation where you would think Detroit has a chance?
Right.
The only thing that I'd say is that Jared Goff knows McVay's system, so he could kind of give a little bit of a heads up to the defenders on what calls are going to be coming.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the talent just simply is not there on either side of the ball for the Lions. I can't pick them. I just can't pick them. I know 16.5 is a lot, but I just see this game getting out of control early and often.
I pulled for the Rams last week as far as the spread was high against the Giants, I think. Wasn't it like 9? And I rolled with them. So I'm with you on this one. And I just want to shout out Scoop because I think he's in the room with us because here we go. Calling things your gravy just doesn't feel right. That's exactly what we went to break, Scoop, and even Gooch was like, yeah, that's not, you better pause on all
highly
that.
Questionable.
Yeah, highly questionable, he called it.
Without Dan Le Batard.
So Gooch is taking the Rams minus the 16.5. I'm going to follow up and stay with that as well. I think I think that the Rams are just too much, and I think getting back home, and this might be a massacre. You know, we've seen a couple games where it's been 40-0. You know, not them in particular. There's other game. There's been blowouts, and so it's not. I'm not hard pressed to think that this game could be an absolute shit show. The Lions haven't really been
on the wrong end of blowouts. They were getting blown out in week 1 with the 49ers, but the Lions have managed to keep some games tight. They're only 3-3 against the spread. They almost had Baltimore without that 66-yard field goal. So the Lions are a tougher team in terms of their fight. They just don't have any talent.
All right. No talent Lions will drop to the Rams. Next, another hot. This spread's too much. I mean, look, this one's highly questionable. The Bears going on the road. Our boy, Jamie Silverberg, will be in attendance for this. He's going to a bachelor party in Tampa, and he will be what? What's wrong?
I think the Bears are 3-3.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever the case. The Bears are 3-3. The Bucks are 5-1. The spread is 12. The Bucks are favored by 12 at home. How do you see this one playing out, Gooch?
Oh, man. I'm going to take the Bears because it's 12 points. Tampa Bay is going to win this game handily, but backdoor cover or just, even a somewhat blowout 17-point lead could easily turn into a 10-point lead late in the fourth quarter. Just 12 points is too much, but the Bucks are also too much for the Bears. Matt Nagy sucks.
So this
the Bears
is one of those.
Defense is okay, but
this is one of those picks where I'm like, okay, so who are you going with?
I just said.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears because 12 is too much.
12 is too much. But then you say that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were too much for the Bears.
There are going to be too much, but 12 points, I'm still like, even if they win by 10, it's still going to be a blowout.
We did get a comment that Sturgis Sauce would actually be a better name. Unfortunately, that name has been taken, and I don't want to totally rain on his parade. But anyway, the Bears are going into Tampa. I like Justin Fields as he goes. I think he gets better as he goes.
Fucking scrub.
Okay, he's a scrub according to Gooch. But I will take. I'm gonna ride with this one as well. I'm taking the Bears plus the 12. Even if Brady gets off to a hot start and they're up 14 early, maybe even 17 at some point, I do feel like the Bears have enough to get some points on the board. This one might blow up in both of our faces, but it's too high of a number, and the Bears are a little bit more talented than like a Lions. Just think about that. The Lions are 17.5-point underdogs, and the Bears are just 5 points less than that.
I don't think it has. I try not to look at one game and then another game.
No, I know you can't compare the two, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel confident about Tom Brady shutting the door. This is another big game, real big game, a must-have in some eyes. The Tennessee Titans are coming off their great performance against the Bills on Monday night. They're 4-2. They're going into Kansas City, and they're going to be playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 4.5-point favorites. Okay, the Chiefs' defense has been historically bad, secondary in particular. So maybe the run defense is a little better for King Henry, but King Henry retook his throne last week. And this one's, you know what? I'm going to pick it first. How about that? For the first time, I'm just going to give it to me first. I got the Titans here. And I got the Titans not only to win or cover this, they might win this game outright. I think the Titans are rolling right now, especially steamrolling off that win. They're feeling good about themselves. They're playing up. The Chiefs right now are the biggest enigma in the entire league. Nobody can figure out what's what. Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes eventually, right? And he's still going to put up the big numbers. And the Titans defense is not really good. We saw plenty of times the Titans defense get completely shut down, right? But I don't know, man. I like Tannehill. I like King Henry here. I'm taking the Titans plus 4.5. Gooch?
I like the Titans. I like everything that you said about them. They did have a big win on Monday night, but there's something about a team with a big win on Monday night, big upset win on Monday night, coming back and playing against a team that has a big second half comeback. And I saw this on the Toast Twitter. The Alaskan.
How many food groups do we have?
The Toast posted something very interesting yesterday, and it was one of these weird stats that only the Toast will post.
Oh, like that?
Where a team coming off of an upset win on Monday night does fairly poor against the spread.
They come down,
week, and a team like. And that the Titans fit that bill. And a team like the Chiefs, who have a second half comeback in the previous week, are really good the following week against the spread. So I'm just going to go with the trend here. And plus, it's like you're getting Pat Mahomes with the trend. I'll take that all day.
Again, I can't knock his play. He's the best to do it right now, besides like Rodgers and stuff like that. But like I think that I think the Titans are going to play up. I think they play up to their competition. Moving on to the said Aaron Rodgers led Green Bay Packers. Big time spread here. They're home. They're going to be wearing their lime green, massive.
Lime green.
They look pretty
They're just
lime.
green.
I know. They're Packer green. It's all green all day. And it's the Packers taking on the Washington football team. The Washington football team are 2-4. They look like one of the worst teams in football lately. I'll give this one the Gooch to break down a little bit better than I could. Toast with Dave's gravy. Oh, I got to stop reading the comments. But yeah, so the Packers are rolling right now, and I firmly believe this is probably going to go that way. So break it down for me, Gooch. This is your boys.
The Packers defense is still banged up. Preston Smith out, or potentially out. He hasn't practiced all week. I don't know if he practiced today or yesterday, so don't quote me on that. But their other two backups that would take his place are definitely out. So Whitney Merciless is probably going to get some decent burn.
He's going to get play already?
I mean, he might have to. Let's think about it. What are they going to do?
Or
But
they give
Packers,
some snaps to your boy
as much as
Jalen.
they've been struggling. They do have a breakout star so far this season, Ramondre Campbell. He's ranked the number one middle linebacker in all of football as far as Pro Football Focus goes. So he's balling
questionable
out.
lately.
They're questionable lately. But if they gave fucking one of your guys a great ranking, then they
I don't take any of that.
Same reason why we talk about the power rankings. Like I'll take any
good stuff
positivity whatsoever, specifically coming out of the
You
Packers
know,
defense.
Dak Prescott this week comes in as the highest rated quarterback according to Football Index.
Oh, the Football Index sucks.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
No, I have no idea. It might be great.
Yeah,
Dak's
well,
been playing amazing. So
in any event,
it makes sense.
is this an easy one for you?
It is an easy one for me. There's a little bit of a trap element to this game because nobody's believing in the football team at this point. Packers are rolling, so that 8 points. I think the early money is coming in on Washington, as crazy as that sounds, because when I first looked at this point spread, it was definitely a little higher. I think it started off at 8.5. So there is some money coming in on football team. Always weird to say that, but Aaron Rodgers, outside of the week one performance, I know you said Dak has been the best since week one. It's not really a debate to me. It's been Aaron Rodgers has been the best, because if you scrap that first game, which I know you can't do, but you understand what I'm going with this.
You know who hasn't had any bad games? Dak Prescott.
Oh, stop.
What? This year?
It's coming. Don't worry. It's football.
Oh, okay.
It's football. Of course he's going to have his.
I'm just saying, like, but I'm just. It's kind of hard to.
Nonetheless, Packers covering the 8. Slight trap element. I'm not going to bet this one.
Okay, well, I'm not either, but I am going to take the Green Bay Packers minus the 8. I think for whatever reason, I'm not really sure as to why anybody would have even with this number. The Washington football team has not lived up to all the hype, especially came from Gooch and AJ said that these guys are going to win 12 games. So I will beat that until that's completely dead and totally just disregarded. But yeah, the Packers.
No, it already is. You're the only one talking.
I know, but I'm just going to keep doing it. So go screw. I will say the Packers roll in this game and go to 6-1 and set up a hell of a showdown next week with the Arizona Cardinals. So that one's going to be fun. I want to be a fly on a wall in the Gooch home for that game.
Getting that first L, baby.
All right. Well, their first L might come this week. You know, the Texans are just hot. Staying in the NFC East, the bad Philadelphia Eagles taking on and going into Las Vegas, Nevada to face the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are 3-point favorites. The Raiders are coming off their win under the new coach, the new regime, that whole new thing. I don't know if that wears off here, but the Eagles are getting the points. 3, as a matter of fact. How do you feel about this one, Gooch?
I like Philly in this game getting the 3. I think the Raiders are arguably the worst 4-2 football team in history. They're dealing with so many issues as far as their head coaching situation. Obviously, all the Gruden talk, we know about that. And I think that the Eagles are potentially one of the better 2-4 teams that we've seen. I know that you're going to disagree with me because you don't like the Eagles, but Jalen Hurts has been playing well. He's been a fantasy superstar for me. For me, I don't know about for anybody else, but for me, he's been.
So he only scores on your team.
And I believe in Philly for whatever reason in this game going on the road. The Vegas Raiders gave me a big win last week and catapulted me into. And I for whatever reason, I feel like I have a good read on the Raiders this season. I've only gotten them wrong once. The week after the interim coach situation took place, now things are kind of the dust is settling. They don't have that moxie that they had going in. Let's play for our coach. So home game, I understand that, but 3 points, I don't buy it. I think Philly could win this game outright.
If I'm not mistaken, this is Rick Bisaccia's first home game to coach for this year. So I think the crowd's going to be electric. I think, and that's the reason why I'm taking the Raiders in this game, is because of the home field. The place is going to be rocking. Typically, when you see Jalen Hurts start running around and just kind of looks like a lost puppy, and that coach, I'm telling you right now, that coach stinks. He is not an NFL coach, and they're finding that out the hard way because Kai can't call a game for his life. He doesn't know when to run. He keeps telling you that we got to get Miles Sanders going. We got to get Miles Sanders going. We got to get the running game going. But they refuse. They refuse to actually act on what he's actually saying. So give me all day. Give me the Raiders in this game. And I don't think it's even close. I think for whatever reason, Derek Carr is going to have one of those big games this week. And I think they rout the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Moving on over to a big divisional game. And of course, the Jets are coming off a bye, so that's good. But I will say the only problem with this is Mac Jones showed me something last week that he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. He definitely beat the Dallas defense a couple times through pick six, but whatever the case may be, I think the Patriots are going to get their first. I'll pick this one first. I think they get this first win at home. The Jets have not done enough for me to show me that they're even going to be in this game. There's a couple guys on the Patriots right now where, was it Ram Stevenson?
Ramondre.
Well, we call him Ram. The Ram. Like Randy the Ram. He's going to be running along with Damian Harris. I don't know if the Jets have enough. I think that this going into Foxborough used to be a theory at first. Like even me as a Cowboy fan with the Cowboys rolling, I was like, it's still in Foxborough. I don't know. And they haven't won a game there yet. It ends this week. I'm taking the Patriots minus the 7. Gooch.
I think the 7 points is way too high in this game. I know New England's at home, and I know the Jets haven't done a goddamn thing yet this season, but the Jets did beat the Titans, right? How crazy is that? The Jets beat the Titans.
Kind of crazy,
right?
Yep.
So I think there is a little bit there. The Jets secondary is playing out of their minds this season. It's going to be hard for them to do anything besides run the football against the Jets. And I know to say anything positive about the Jets is crazy, but at the same time, the Patriots are only 2-4. It's not like they're out here winning games. They've played up to their competition's level a little bit, but they find ways to lose games. And then they play teams like the Dolphins, and then they barely did they even beat the Dolphins week 1?
No,
right? So that's what I'm saying. They have some bad losses too.
This is also their second meeting of the season already. And the last time we saw the Patriots play the Jets, they starched them, and AJ was there for it. So this is already their second meeting. I feel like Belichick's got this number, and he's got Salah just shook.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I'm going to take the Jets.
Take the Jets.
They might win.
Live and die with the Jets.
They're not covering the 7.
All right. We'll see. Game of the week, in my opinion. The Baltimore Ravens are obviously flying high, no pun. But then, of course, the Bengals are shocking everybody right now, and they're playing really, really good offense right now. This is a game where I'm very torn because I know who's going to win, but I don't know who's going to win, but I have a good feeling I know who's going to roll with this game. But that number, the Ravens are favored by 6.5 at home against the Bengals, who are playing pretty good football. I'm going to give this one to you first, Gooch, because this one's definitely the more difficult game to pick, I think.
So you're going to pick off of my pick?
I'm not going to. I already have it in my head what I'm going to do.
I think the Ravens are going to beat the shit out of the Bengals this week. Because the spread 6.5, they're begging you to take Cincinnati. The public has been killing Vegas so far this whole season, at least specifically the last 3 weeks. I think this game, a lot of people should just stay away from it. But I don't know, man. The Ravens are rolling right now. They're putting 40 points up a game. That offense is impossible to stop. And because the Bengals are playing so well, you wonder why that spread's so high. It's because the Ravens are that good. So I'll go with the Ravens.
I am going to ride the Ravens as well because I truly think the Ravens are playing all world right now, might be the team to beat in the AFC. And I say that confidently after watching the Bills go down last week. So now the Ravens are playing their best football. The one bugaboo I would say about the 4-2 Bengals is that their defense is still kind of bad. It's not great. They've been in higher shootout games. The offense is going to score some points. Don't get me wrong. I think that the Ravens defense, since losing their big dog corner, Marcus Peters in the preseason, where they had to make a couple adjustments on the fly, really, it was like days before their first game. The Ravens haven't lost since, and the defense is playing better. So give me the Ravens in this one. to cover that number 2. So I'm with you on that one. Here's a real banger. It's the Miami Dolphins, who are 1-5, who have been rumored all week long to have made a trade, or at least talking about making a trade for Deshaun Watson to make sure this season doesn't get completely lost. But they're going to take on the 2-3 Atlanta Falcons coming off a bye. Right? Have to, right? You didn't, or that changed?
Wait, what?
Falcons. They're 2-3. Are they coming off a bye?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just making sure. They're 2-3, coming off a bye against the Miami Dolphins, who, again, I thought this was a thing. I thought once you went to London, you got to bye the next week. I always thought that was a thing. And I guess it's not anymore.
It's not anymore. I think that it used to be a thing, but now that's gone.
The Jaguars got the bye, but the Dolphins didn't. Kind of weird. But in any event, the Dolphins are getting back home. They're favored by 2.5 against Matty Ice and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll start with this one. I think the Atlanta Falcons are playing a little bit better than I expected them to play, as far as I thought they were going to be one of the bottom feeders of the league. I still think they might wind up in that bottom feeder category in the back stretch. The Dolphins defense let Trevor Lawrence and let that offense do their thing. I mean, they got in some field goal range or whatever. It wasn't like they gave up too many points, but the Dolphins defense just looks bad news bears. And I don't know. I don't know if I could trust them, even with being at home. So I'm going to pick the Falcons here, plus the 2.5 over the Dolphins, who are completely reeling. And I'm sorry, Mom. I know she's a big Dolphins fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons here as well. For all the reasons that I said, why I like Matt Ryan over Tua in a quarterback streaming situation, it's the same reason why I'm picking the Falcons. They're just a little bit better on offense, and both defenses stink. I just don't buy Tua right now. There's too many injury situations going on with his ribs. He's all fucked up. Plus, they don't know what's happening with his future. Not that matters, honestly. I think it does. You don't think that plays into his head at all? I don't. If anything, you want a guy that's going to have that situation take place and him step up and play better because of it. Otherwise, if he can't, then he's not the guy you want. I don't want somebody to be like, oh, they might replace me, so I'm going to go out there and play worse. No, go play better. So, I mean,
I don't think that's what he's looking to do.
It shouldn't affect his play is what I'm getting at.
Okie dokie.
No way.
All right. To all you local folks out there, the New York Football Giants come back home to play the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers favored on the road, -3. So the Giants are home dogs here, appropriately home dogs, I think. The Giants will still be without, their boys. Barkley out. I'm not sure about their wide receiver situation. Not sure about what Tony's got going on. I don't even know if he's practiced. I haven't really paid attention to the Giants in particular, because right now they're a non-factor to my team. But I will say that Daniel Jones getting back home, this is the game. This is the game, Giants fans. Listen to me closely. You need this game so bad. Like, so bad. Because, look, the Panthers started off hot, the 3-0, and then the Cowboys rocked them up, right? And then the following week, they lose again. And then the following week, they lose again. So the Panthers are reeling right now, right? You got Robbie Anderson can't catch shit. You got DJ Moore being the only actual target for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's making his return to MetLife Stadium. It's just not against the Jets. But it's hard to pick. When the Giants are home right now, I got to throw this to you. I mean, I have it. I sort of have it. I think the Giants need it so bad. And Joe Judge is doing a bunch of Joe Judgeisms and shit.
I refuse to pick until you pick.
Okay, fine. That's totally fine.
I want to hear you actually say
it. Fine. The Panthers are reeling right now. Chuba Hubbard is a better runner than what the Giants have faced in recent times, right? He's definitely he's serviceable.
He's all right.
He's all right. Robbie Anderson scores twice. Makes up for all the shit, right? Giants got to win this game, dude. They got to win this game. Like, they can't blow this shit again. The Panthers are reeling. I don't want the Giants to win. It? I'm taking the Giants. I'm taking the home dogs, bro. Like, it's a tough one for me.
I think that you're right. Both teams need the game. I think Carolina needs it a lot more. The only thing that I think might be your saving grace is that 3 points. I don't think the Giants are going to win many games this year. I don't think this is going to be one of them. I'm going to take Carolina because they're a desperate team who actually has playoff aspirations. They're getting, I think they're getting Gilmore to play this week, so they're getting a little infusion into their defense. Going to make things a little bit more difficult on that banged up Giants situation. I know that all the receivers are hurt. Barkley's hurt. Carolina's been hardest against the running backs in fantasy football. I don't know where that places them in terms of run defense. I think Tampa is actually first in the league against run defense. But yeah, I'm going to go Carolina because they're desperate. They're more desperate. The Giants are desperate, but they're 1-5.
Resident, really, really positive Giants fans. Ben Wexler comes out, says, hell just froze over. Dave went with the Giants. We're screwed. Blowout loss. Thanks a lot. Listen, I'm not putting any hex on the Giants. I don't want them to win. I'm going to be rooting hard for Carolina. We already beat Carolina, so I'm not worried about Carolina. We already beat the Giants, so I'm not really worried about the Giants. But I'm thinking of, in terms of, gotta have it. If the Giants go home and throw up another stinker, they're going to be calling for Joe Judge's head. He cannot get these guys to play for him. And you're going to find out this week if Daniel Jones is your guy. Because you saw what Dak Prescott did to the Carolina Panthers. This is a chance for Daniel Jones to shut everybody up and run around. And it's one more week removed from his stupid little concussion. You know what I mean? Like, this has to be the game. And like, this is it, bro. Like, we're about to be in November. The Giants, listen, I'm not saying the Giants have playoff hopes. It's clear that they're not getting there.
Look, I disagree with you that this is the game that you're going to be able to get a read on whether Daniel Jones is the guy or not. Right now, the Giants.
How many times are we going to go through this stuff?
Okay, well, how many times are you going to have a situation where your top 3 potential receivers are out, right? And your number 1 running back is out behind an already shoddy offensive line. So he doesn't have the pieces in place. And let's be real, like, they haven't given him much in New York. Fair?
No,
so
they have not.
Whether he's the guy in
but
New
they
York
do
or
have.
not,
Listen, they drafted.
I just don't think that it's very fair to say that Daniel Jones can't be an NFL quarterback. I don't think he's going to ever do it with the Giants, though.
Well, here's my theory here. Okay, if Daniel Jones can get out there and get a win this week, despite the laundry list of injuries that the Giants have, then you can have some optimism. Yeah. Like, oh, wow, this guy just won with me and you at receiver and AJ running the rock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the expectations have to be fairly low given the
100%
situation. Yeah.
100% agree. Expectations low. This is the kind of game they can win and play up. I'm not rooting for them. I just think they can get it done.
I see a Daniel Jones in a very similar situation as Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
In a year or two.
Yeah, honestly. Could be. All right. The next banger is another 17.5 point spread. The Texans are in disarray. They've been trading guys off, releasing guys left and right, just cutting the world. They don't give a shit. They're going against the 6-0 Cardinals. It's a 17.5 point spread, which is insane. Can the Texans cover the number, Gooch? That's what I'll ask you there. They're not going to win the game. Can they come within striking distance?
No.
I didn't.
Cardinals are putting up 20-point wins on the Rams. They're not going to have any problems with the Texans at home. Sorry, Texans fans.
Yeah, all one of you. I don't even know if there is any, to be honest with you, except for the people that are in Houston, Texas. But yeah, dude.
Also, Scoop, book it. That's my survivor pick.
That is mine as well. Scoop, thank you very much. You can lock me in for the Cardinals this week.
Everybody else's that. I don't know. Yo, did you see that somebody actually picked in the easiest week so far this entire season?
Somebody picked the Broncos last night.
It's not even close. It's this week is the easiest week. You got Tampa. You got
Tampa. Like over.
They're 12. I don't give a fuck. If you have if you have 3 games over 10 points in point spreads, that's an easy week.
Okay.
Point blank.
Okay.
And then you have the Packers as well over a football team. So 4 real locks.
But then somebody went out and picked the Broncos last night.
And you take the Broncos.
What is that about?
With like all the injuries, you have no idea how to handicap that game.
Did he want to just like have a stress-free Sunday? Like, let me get this out of the way and I'll pick the game tonight and blah, blah, blah. Well, now you're gone. So that's it. But everybody has survived like 3 weeks in a row. Like, there's nobody been knocked out until right now. One guy is gone.
The last people that got knocked out were the Titans.
Yes, the Titans. Exactly. All right. So we'll wrap the week.
Kyle got knocked out with the Raiders the following week.
You're paying him for picks. Anyway, Sunday Night Football, baby. Sunday Night Football. This on paper and the records wise, it doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't look fun. But this one could be good. I think the Colts, obviously, they've been a little difficult to read. There's some of us out there, and not naming any names, Kyle, who picked the Colts to win 10 games. And that's clearly not going to happen. But, Hard Knocks has got to go follow these guys. What kind of freaking series is that going to be? They're like, oh, we're going to follow them as they chase over the playoffs. Well, they're about to be 1-5. So I don't know about all that. But anyway, the 49ers are in a situation right now where if they want to make a run at all in the NFC West, I'm not talking about the NFC, just getting out of their division, they got to win football games. This is the game at home. They got to win. I'm taking the 49ers in this one. I think Trey Lance, I don't even know who's quarterbacking, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's either Jimmy G or Trey Lance. Both of those guys
are also 2-4 now, right?
Who?
The Colts?
Yeah,
that record's
sure.
wrong.
Fine. But we're fine. But even if they lose, they go 2-5. It's going to be tough sledding. But give me the 49ers here in this week, minus the 4. I think they have to have it. They know it. They know that they have a chance to jump the Seahawks, considering the Seahawks are in disarray right now without Russell Wilson. And they got to keep climbing. And this is the only way they can do it. Sunday Night Football, prime time. Kyle Juszczyk gets in the end zone twice because I really, really need that. So where are you going with the game, Gooch?
I'm going to go San Fran as well, coming off a bye week. I like Shanahan coming off of a bye week. The Colts aren't playing well this season. They did beat the shit out of the Texans last week, and they got me 1 week further in my survivor, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get beat in this one, and probably I think it might be a blowout.
Yeah,
just because of the bye week situation. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about San Fran this week.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. San Fran has definitely, been a Jekyll and Hyde team like some of these other teams in the NFL already. We're 7 weeks in. We're starting to finally crystallize who's in there, who's not, and the Colts are not. And it's Carson Wentz being bad at football. Everybody kind of got on this Wentz wagon again, and then they thought, like, look, new team, new scenario, new scenery, blah blah blah. It hasn't changed much. He got T.Y. Hilton back last week. He's banged up again. I need something out of Michael Pittman Jr. Like, I'm not just talking about fantasy. Like, let's find out if this kid's going to be something in the NFL. I like him, so let's see. The 49ers are banged up. Don't get me wrong, but I think ultimately they get it done, and we start seeing a little bit more flashes of Trey Lance get things done. So that is the NFL slate. We will pick Monday night on Monday's show. Obviously, there are some conflicts here, so we are going to either make up and break up some games. You're either going to pull away big time, or I'm going to pull a little closer. So we have a full slate of games. I'll look at AJ's picks. I glanced over them for a second just to see how many ones that we have not together. But in any event, oh yeah, good job there, Wex. He's starting Ben Wexler. He's starting Carson Wentz at quarterback because Dak is on a bye. Bye weeks, man. They're a doozy. I've seen some lineups this week as far as fantasy football is concerned. They are brutal, including mine. Like, I have like a million Cowboys on my team, so it's like
7's rough. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of good offenses on a bye.
Right. So when the Jaguars are going to bye, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Even if you have James Robinson is one of the better fantasy backs this year. So
very true. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here today on a Football Friday. Again, every day during the week, Monday through Friday, your boys Sturch and Gooch are here doing a live show. Right now, if you're watching this, also be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. A lot more content coming your way. And of course, all of the podcasts that are on this network. We got Scoop coming in, probably doing a Knicks and Nets podcast. We have the Squeaky Bum Time. I know it's a funny name, but if you're a soccer fan, which I know there's a lot in Chop Sports, especially the Facebook group, go check out those guys. Those guys are really knowledgeable in the sport of soccer. And of course, we have Till Mets Do Us Part, which we're going to be basically reviewing the entire season going forward. And of course, all the moves they need to make. A brand new episode of I'm Your Football Team, which again, if you don't have the stomach for it, don't listen to it because he is a comedian, very dry, very funny, he will call it down the line. 50-50. Like he doesn't float one way or another. He's right down the middle. So go check out that guy. Next week, there could be, and I don't want to announce too much, but there could be another potential big guest for Jimmy Palumbo show. He's promoting somebody else's podcast, so there's going to be little cross promo there. And of course, all the rest of the podcasts. You can find them all at chopsportsmedia.com. The business is booming. We're about to embark on another recording studio soon enough. If and when you need a recording studio to do anything like that, we will be renting out space. Obviously, we have it full equipped. We have all the greatest top of the line equipment. We have it for you guys, and game on. I talked to who did I talk to today? Lindsay, that girl Lindsay who does that Giants podcast. I talked to her, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, if you ever want to come use the studio, it's here. And she's like, oh, I'm about 30 minutes north of Albany. I was like, little bit of a hike. All right, never mind. But it's here for you guys. If you guys are interested and want to do your own thing, come do your own thing. And you know what? If it's a good podcast, guess what? Come on board with the network. So there's a lot of things going on. We got some business to attend to today. So again, thank you guys for watching. And of course, have a great weekend. Gooch, you got plans? Anything? You said something about a Halloween thing?
Oh, yeah. My sister's having a Halloween party today.
What are you dressing up as?
Myself.
Scary. Ooh.
Ashley's gonna be
A gym goer.
workout Barbie, and I'm gonna be workout Kant. Get it?
I love it. I love it. Yes, instead of Ken. Can't. Workout Kent and workout Barbie. That's cool. Hey, listen.
Workout
that's
Kant or Disco Ken from Toy Story.
Disco.
That's the other suggestion. Hey, Disco Ken.
No,
you
no.
don't know it?
What? No. Which one is that? It's not the original Toy Story. Is it? No, definitely not.
I'll talk to you after the show ends and tell you what Disco Ken.
No. Tell the audience. Disco Ken. What is it? Disco Ken?
I'll get canceled.
Oh, all right. Don't do it then. Don't do it. Well, you know what? If anybody's uncancelable, it's us.
Yeah, I don't actually give a shit.
Right. Two guys who truly don't give a shit. Gloves, they've been removed. So thank you guys again for joining us. And as far as this weekend's concerned, enjoy the football. Enjoy the college football. I know we haven't really touched on a lot of college football because, look, our resident Rutgers team is just, they're reeling as well. So it's hard to talk college football when your local team kind of, we're rooting for all you guys. Trust me on that one. But there is other things coming up. Wrestling season, bro.
Yeah.
Paz
is going to win the title this year.
Paz is going to be a national champion, chop athlete, national champion. First ever. It's going to happen. So, again, for Sturch and Gooch, we've run this show since day one. We're going to keep running it going forward. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, do all that stuff, share it, like it, all that, all the jargon that you hear. Do that and have a great weekend. Peace. That's it? Peace? Couldn't even think of anything? Nothing? Zero?
I got nothing.
Nothing?